Final time down the back straightaway for the Jacksonville, Oregon driver Carly Holmes will get the checkered flag and picks up the win.
Well, we are 5 races into the 2021-2022 Red Bluff Outlaw season. It has been full of excitement, chaos, and just about everything you can think of. And in today's show, we're going to be getting Carly's point of view and how her 5 races have went behind the wheel of the 22C. First off, I never actually officially showed you guys her car. You've obviously seen it because we competed against each other at Roseburg, but you have a pretty sweet paint scheme for this winter year.
Yeah, Ed and Todd, they worked really hard on getting me something good, and Todd did all the powder coating and it turned out amazing, and then Kevin also did the design. So I really like it, and I know a lot of people like it.
It's just really, really clean, and I feel like it kind of just fits you and your personality. It's cool how cars can kind of flow together like that. So you guys have obviously been following along with the 18T through the videos, but you have not seen much of Carly. Can you just kind of talk about, how your season has started, how tough it's been, as well as the progress that you guys have been making?
Yeah, the first 3 races were definitely a struggle. Didn't make it out of the C main. We broke actually in one of them, so that ended our night early. But then the 4th points race, I got up. I actually stepped on it in qualifying, and I think I qualified second or third. I think it was second. I had a hard heat race like everyone else did, and it still ended up in the C main, and I couldn't make it out. So besides that, it was kind of a struggle, and then last weekend was our best night. We made the feature. We qualified 12th, won the heat right off the bat, and then started 5th in the main. So
it was a great night for you. Can you kind of describe to the viewers, you've obviously been experiencing how easy it is to fall into the trap of being absolutely buried throughout the night at Red Bluff. There's just so many factors that, can make your night great or bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I think qualifying is the best. You have to qualify good, honestly. I think is it 10th to 20th or 12th to 20th?
Depending on how many cars there are. If you make the top 20 invert, you're looking all right pretty much.
Because I qualified 12th, and that put me front row. So we're going to try to qualify somewhere between probably, 10th to 12th each race, maybe better if we can. But it's definitely hard, and I think qualifying's, you just have to, be good at that and be consistent each weekend. We qualified 2nd, and then I qualified 12th. So that was pretty consistent, and so I think going into next week, we have that confidence and maybe qualify better.
Absolutely, and it's probably been a good thing that Carly and I haven't really been on track at the same time. Just sometimes there's so many competitors that we don't end up in the same heat races or the same B mains or C mains just with how the first 5 nights have went. I do want to jump though into Carly's heat race that was filmed from the grandstands this last weekend. You guys can see her make some of her best laps of the season, starting front row outside, got a good jump, and was able to win that heat and transfer her into her first Open A main event of the year. So when you jump out front in a heat race like that, what's the mindset? What's going through your head? Are you just trying to click off laps and it's actually fairly comfortable? Or are you always thinking someone's behind you? Because obviously from the footage, you were absolutely checked out.
No, yeah, I couldn't tell. The first few laps, I think it was probably the first 2 laps, I was definitely worried that a slider was coming my way. After that, I got very comfortable actually in the car and just running my line, keeping it. And entering the corner, I could see second place, halfway on the backstretch maybe, or down the backstretch or whatever. but I could see second place actually, you know, not close to me at all. And normally when you can see that wing, you know, when you're entering the corner, it's just,
you can kind of look over your shoulder.
You kind of just know that, okay, you have plenty of room and you can keep calm. And I wasn't like tensed or anything during that. And I was just kept my calm and saw the white flag, and then I was really excited that I was going to make my first main.
So you made your first main, and then what did you end up pulling in the redraw because you made the top 6?
I pulled a 5.
So pretty much the worst possible pill. Worst possible pill. Now the good thing about Red Bluff is just being in the show means you have a chance, and so much chaos can take place. It doesn't matter if you start 16th or on the pole. You all are in a fairly good spot. It's just who can navigate those 30 laps the best. Once you got to the A main event, did you feel nervous, or are you a little bit more like me? I'm nervous for the beginning of the night, and once I get to the A, that's all just the fun part.
Yeah, the A was definitely a lot of fun, and I just kept my calm. That's all I try to do when I'm in the A mains. I just try to relax, you know, keep my calm. It's 30 laps, and I'm racing with literally the best of the best probably in the country. So I know that they're going to throw some, you know, gnarly sliders that might be close, or I might throw a gnarly slider that might be close. So I just really got to, you know, keep calm in those situations. And that's what I tried to do. And then I got, you know, tangled up. And then after that, we broke. So it was an interesting main. We were a little too loose in the beginning of the night, or in the beginning of the main, but we definitely fixed that later on. And yeah.
So with that, and my night ending early, I threw an onboard camera on the 22C because we had to ride along with her for her first ever Open A main event. It's a special time. It's obviously a huge accomplishment to put it in the show. So let's jump on board with that for 30 laps around the Pauley Davis Pavilion's Red Bluff Outlaws with Carly Holmes. So Carly got that valuable experience literally racing with some of the best Outlaw Kart drivers in the country for the A-Main event. If you could go back and change anything, I know you obviously broke. You would have liked to run all the laps. But at one point, you were almost into the top 5, I think, or almost into the top 3. You know, what could you go back and maybe do differently now?
I definitely I would, on the yellow lap, actually, before we even started the race, I checked to see how loose my car would have been running on the bottom. And I think if I kept my wing in the back instead of moved it forward a little bit, we would have actually made it up to that 3rd position. And, now I'm not really quite sure if I was in 3rd yet, but definitely would have moved my wing back right off the start.
Which that would have gave Carly more rear drive, and especially off the bottom as you're rolling them much slower than the top. That helps you get down the straightaways. What did end up being the mechanical failure that took you out of the race?
The fuel pump went out again.
Fuel pump went out, which was the same issue they had in Roseburg, which put her behind the 8 ball, but it's all part of racing. The 22C program, though, you guys are on a high, made the show, qualified good, did much better than I did this last weekend, and now we have 2 more races to complete 2021. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this update on Carly. We're going to be following along with her more throughout these next couple of weeks, and we're both going to be racing our way into the 2022 season. Well, thank you, Carly, so much for participating in today's video. If you guys want to watch more Carly Holmes videos here on the channel, we have some footage of her obviously in the sprint car for the first time, all the races she ran during 2021, some more Outlaw Kart battles that we had at Roseburg, things got a little intense, and much, much more you can click here on the screen. See you guys all in the next one. Deuces.